everyone. My name is Terrence Neumann, and I'll be presenting Justice and Misinformation Detection Systems, an analysis of algorithms, stakeholders, and potential harms. I worked on this paper with Maria De-Arteaga from University of Texas and Sina Fazelpour from Northeastern University. Misinformation has unfortunately become ubiquitous in our day-to-day life. The surge in the spread of misinformation on social networks has raised deep concerns regarding the well-being of individuals, groups, and democratic societies. Misinformation has the potential to cause real harms to people by propagating false beliefs in critical moments such as elections, public health emergencies, and humanitarian crises. Faced with the scale of the challenge, many platforms have turned to algorithms to automate content moderation decisions, and fact-checking organizations are increasingly adopting algorithmic tools for support. For instance, Facebook reportedly labeled 180 million messages as potentially misleading during the 2020 election season, while Twitter says it labeled 300,000 during the same period. However, there is a lack of attention to the ethical risks that algorithmic biases, similar to those found in systems used to assist with hiring, policing, and medical diagnostic decisions, may present in automated misinformation detection systems as well. Kay Mathiasen, an information ethicist, previously developed a working theory to answer questions of justice in the context of information and misinformation. However, we extend her theory to fully consider the stakeholders involved in misinformation detection. Consider stakeholders in relation to two informational items: a claim, like a tweet or a newspaper, and evidence that either refutes or supports a claim. This evidence could be text-based or it could be based on a survey. The source of information is the creator of the content. The subject of information is a stakeholder represented within the claim after either expressly or by self-identification with the true subject. The subject of information may not always be human, but when they are, issues of justice are pertinent. The seeker of information is someone actively searching for quality information on a given topic. Finally, sources of evidence are those individuals who generate evidence that either refutes or supports a claim. To provide a concrete example, let's analyze the stakeholders in a given claim. Pope Francis endorses Donald Trump for president. In this context, seekers of information will likely either be American voters or Catholics, as this is a claim regarding a candidate endorsement. The source of information was a fake news website that was then cited by several Twitter accounts. The subject of information is both Pope Francis and Donald Trump, and indirectly Catholics. One source of evidence, Snopes, a highly credible fact-checking group, found this claim to be false. Now that we understand the players, we can formulate different notions of justice that exist in this information environment. In our longer talk, we discussed the unique notions of justice relevant to the different stakeholders. Three of these notions of justice, distributive, participatory, and recognitional, were put forth by Mathiasen in her original work. We present a fourth notion, epistemic justice, as it relates to sources of evidence. With this framework established, we apply it to studying abstract automated misinformation detection pipeline, pointing out potential systemic harms and suggesting possible sources of these harms. For this teaser, I will just introduce the key elements of the fact-checking pipeline as identified in a recent literature review. First, a check-worthiness algorithm scans a vast array of user content and determines which content is most worthy of fact-checking. Second, if a claim is prioritized for fact-checking, evidence is retrieved that either supports or refutes the claim. This evidence can either be a direct survey regarding the claim or it can be passively gathered. Third, after a claim has been prioritized for fact-checking and evidence is retrieved, a predicted verdict can be generated. For the second half of our presentation, we focus on analyzing each subtask, pointing out potential harms and potential sources of these harms for each stakeholder. Thanks for listening, and I hope you find your way to our full-length talk to hear more about justice and misinformation detection.